And this is the event that everyone has waited for, the running of the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship. The starters from position number 1, Victorian Darryl Nash. Outside front row, driving car 5, Max Dumsy. Position number 3, car number 15, the driver Brooke Tatnell from New South Wales. Bill Barrows will drive car number 6 from position number 4. Position 5 in tonight's field, held down by David Anderson. Position number 6, Rob Dawkins, the driver from Tasmania. Nathan McDonald will drive car number 32 from position number 7. Position 8, Gary Chippendall in car number 43. Car number 32, position 9 in the field, David Murcott from Tasmania. Skip Jackson will drive car number 11 from position 10. Position 11, Roy Wright from Victoria. Rod Bowen in car 75 will start from position number 12. Position number 13, car number 77, Mark Wells, the driver from Western Australia. Position 14, Dion Appleby from Tasmania. Position 15, Ken Veal. And position number 16, Kevin Claridge in car number 47. And we have a start in the running of the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship, heading down the back straightaway on the first occasion. And it's Max Dumsy, the race leader, as Brooke Tatnell and Bill Barrows have an exchange of wheels there. Barrows out of shape into turn 1, and Nash also running there in second position. And Brooke Tatnell there right up on the tail of Darryl Nash, but there's the race leader in the opening laps of the Australian Sprint Car Championship, Max Dumsy, down into turn 1. Here's Tatnell ranging up on the outside of Nash. Nash in second position, and Brooke Tatnell now looking for a way through on the inside, couldn't pull it off on that occasion. Nash in second position, Tatnell third. They in turn were followed through there by Bill Barrows as they come down the main straightaway. Here's Nash and Brooke Tatnell. Tatnell going via the infield, back out onto the racetrack. Nash in second and Brooke Tatnell third. There's Bill Barrows. He's in fourth spot at the present time, and Max Dumsy already clearing right away. He's already established a quarter of a lap lead as he heads down into turn number 3. Nash midway down the back straightaway. There's Dumsy here on screen coming off turn 4. Down the front section of the course here at the Carrick Speedway into turn 1, driving the John Sydney Valvoline sponsored JSR race car, lining up into the pit turn. Here's Dumsy, and boy oh boy, he's gapped them in the opening laps of the Australian title. And Dumsy into the first turn, and already starting to move up on the tail end cars. Dumsy ranging up into turn 3. There's Barrows. He's running in fourth spot on the racetrack, and just ahead of him, further ahead, there is Brooke Tatnell. Here's Dumsy, and ready now to lap the first of the tail enders, and that is Mark Wells driving car number 77. Here's Nash, and here's Brooke Tatnell. Nash opened up an advantage there on Tatnell as he comes off turn 4. Coming down now, here's Dumsy. Dumsy working away there at the tail enders, and this is where it will get really interesting here as he lines up on Mark Wells. Mark Wells from Western Australia, and Dumsy trying to get through on the inside there, couldn't do so. Now switches to the outside, and it's around the outside is Max Dumsy attempting to consolidate his lead, and here's Tatnell through onto the infield, back up onto the racetrack, but Nash comes back, fights back on the outside and retains that second position. And these tail end cars proving troublesome for Dumsy as he tries once again, but here's Nash. These tail end cars have caused problems, and Nash and Brooke Tatnell closing right up on Dumsy through. Oh, and Dumsy up and over Max Dumsy. Brooke Tatnell also involved, and Mark Wells. Oh, horrific action here in the opening laps of the Australian Sprint Car Championship. The red lights are on, and you can see there also Nathan McDonald pulling up. But what wretched luck indeed for Max Dumsy. Well, there's the scene of the spectacular accident which brought Max Dumsy undone. Max Dumsy climbing out of the number 5 race car there. Also Brooke Tatnell, there's a wheel and a wing going across to Brooke Tatnell's race car, putting the number 5 John Sydney race car back on its wheels. Well, there it is. There doesn't appear to be any external damage to the John Sydney race car. Seems as though they build the John Sydney cars as tough and as sturdy as the Sydney Harbour Bridge, because Max Dumsy is set to go racing once again. And look at the car, there really doesn't appear to be a mark on it. Amazing. New wing fitted, of course, and other components, but basically the car is raceable. And there he goes, Max Dumsy set to take his place in the restart to the Australian Sprint Car Championship. And that certainly is a credit to the way John Sydney builds his race cars. He's ready to go racing, Max Dumsy. Amazing, absolutely amazing. There's Dumsy. He will lead them away. Mark Wells being ruled by officials the cause of the stoppage as we go racing once again in the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship. And yes, it's Max Dumsy leading them away. Absolutely amazing as the rest of the field streams through. Skip Jackson there looking for a way through on the inside of Murcott, and Nathan McDonald also there too is Ken Veal. There's Jackson in 11 as the cars come down the front section of the course here. And Brooke Tatnell, he's also running pretty competitively, as is Daryl Nash. Nash holding down second position, and Brooke Tatnell. Oh, and Brooke Tatnell comes through beautiful inside pass by Tatnell, and he's now running in second position and attempting to close on Max Dumsy. And Nash up high and kisses the wall. Nash is out of action. One going via the infield was Nathan McDonald's, but Nash having come to a halt down the back straightaway as we watch Bill Barrows lining up into turn number 1. But the yellow lights are on once again for Daryl Nash. Yes, there he is, stranded midway down the back straightaway. And Nash just being passed by Brooke Tatnell. Nash in third position, Barrows fourth, and David Anderson. That's the top 5. Also one around there too is just trying to pick up the number of that car. Set to go again in the restart of the Australian Championship, and Dumsy leading them away. Brooke Tatnell running competitively, heading off down the back straightaway once again. Next is through is Bill Barrows, followed in turn by David Anderson as they come down through the pit turn. But here's Dumsy, and following right behind there is Brooke Tatnell. This is Brooke Tatnell's best chance to win the Australian Sprint Car Championship as he takes the challenge right up to Dumsy. Dumsy and Tatnell, this is where the interest is. Running 1-2, Dumsy the race leader, Tatnell there in second position, and these two drivers have now cleared away from the rest of the field as they line up into turn 3. There's Anderson, he's currently fourth. Bill Barrows in third position, and there's the gap between second, third and fourth at this stage. Brooke Tatnell working hard, working on the number 5 car driven by Max Dumsy. Dumsy into 3 and chased hard by Brooke Tatnell coming off turn 4, and Brooke Tatnell still issuing a strong, bold, determined challenge, taking the race right up to Dumsy there. Here's the first of these lap cars once again, both through safely on the outside line, Dumsy and Tatnell. Tatnell still clinging desperately to the tail of the number 5 race car, but still back in third position is Bill Barrows and David Anderson in fourth spot. There's working the wheel of the number 5 car, lifting the wheels. Oh, loses ground too in actual fact to Dumsy. Dumsy skipping clear. There's Brooke Tatnell, and the next one through is Barrows, followed through, and actually Barrows and Anderson have been having a scrap too as Anderson goes down onto the low line there and trying to get through car number 47 as they come through pit turn. Coming off turn 4 is David Anderson, car number 47 driven by Kevin Claridge. Now it's Dion Appleby's turn to get a lap by Max Dumsy. Dumsy lapping these cars now as they come down. Max Dumsy into turn number 1, and Dumsy has an advantage over Brooke Tatnell. Brooke Tatnell has lost ground in those lap cars. Oh, here's one around sideway on the straights. Continuing on is Dawkins. Dawkins out of shape, and also Nathan McDonald involved there too as we cut back now to Max Dumsy. Next driver to be lapped by Dumsy is Ken Veal, car number 90. Ken Veal, the Victorian Sprint Car champion. Down through the pit turn one more time for Max Dumsy coming off turn 4. He's driven an absolutely brilliant race, an absolutely superb race, coming back strongly after that spectacular crash. And Dumsy leading the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship. Winfield champion for 1990 is Max Dumsy, and now attempting to add the prestigious Australian Sprint Car Championship to his impressive list of victory as he lines up into turn number 3 through the pit turn. Gets a little out of shape there, just hooks the rud a little bit, but continuing on beautifully is Max Dumsy, driving the race of his life here at the Carrick Speedway as he comes down the back section of the course one more time. The Valvoline sponsored Max Dumsy driving the John Sidney, car number 5, comes off turn 4, completes another lap in the Australian Championship, and look at that margin he has now opened over Brooke Tatnell. Brooke Tatnell has fallen well behind. Here's one going via the infield, and that's Bill Barrows as they continue this scrap here, and David Anderson around sideways attempting to get between a lap car and Bill Barrows, and the yellow lights are on once again in the Australian Championship, and the man on screen, David Anderson, the cause of the incident. Set to go racing one more time, and Max Dumsy to lead them away, followed by Brooke Tatnell in third position. Officials putting David Anderson back in his starting position before the stoppage. So Anderson taking up the running in third position now as we cut back there to Dawkins, and also Skip Jackson there in car number 11. But now David Anderson taking the race right up to Tatnall. David Anderson through on the inside of Tatnall. Oh, bangs wheels with Tatnall. Tatnall fights back on the outside as they line up into turn 3. And here's David Anderson cutting down low on the pole line. Switches back there, but that's still Brooke Tatnall covering all of the racetrack there and keeping Anderson back there in third position. And now Bill Barrows also joins in this battle for second, third and fourth in the running of the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship, coming your way from the Carrick Speedway in Tasmania as Anderson once again ranges up and moves into second position, taking second away from Brooke Tatnall there. So the top three, a change in the top three running order. It's Max Dumsy leading from David Anderson. There in third position is Brooke Tatnall, and now here comes Bill Barrows and also Skip Jackson there riding in contention. And Brooke Tatnall seems to have problems with the number 15 race car. He's all over the racetrack now, and here's Bill Barrows closing that gap. Oh boy, what an Australian title this one is. Plenty of drama, plenty of excitement, and here's Barrows and Jackson now looking for a way through. Puts the nose through on the inside of the South Australian 6 car, but it's still Bill Barrows there, and Brooke Tatnall holding down third position at this stage. Barrows, Skip Jackson, and now Dawkins also joining in as the battle continues for the minor placings. There's Dawkins on screen at the present time, taking through turn 4 there, coming down the main straightaway, and it's still Bill Barrows in, what are we running now, in fourth position, Bill Barrows on the racetrack. Oh, and Skip Jackson ducks through neatly on the inside of Rob Dawkins there. He moves up one more placing in the field. Through the pit turn also Nathan McDonald there. So plenty of action all around the Carrick Speedway track now as we watch Max Dumsy negotiating turn number 4. He's coming down the main straightaway. Another lap down in the Australian Championship. And here's a good drive being turned in now by David Anderson. He's safely in second position and setting off after Max Dumsy. But Dumsey's well clear at this stage. Anderson driving a beautiful race in second spot. And Max Dumsy now setting off on his final lap, coming off turn 2, half a lap away from victory in the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship, going through the pit turn, coming off turn 4 to go down and take the checkered flag, and victory in the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship. David Anderson will take second. Coming in third was Brooke Tatnall, followed through by Bill Barrows from South Australia. Next one through was Skip Jackson, as the rest of the field streams across the checkered flag, but no doubting the race winner. There he is on screen, the driver of car number 5, Max Dumsy. A sensational victory here at the Carrick Speedway in Tasmania. Just recapping the top 3 place getters once again as we watch David Anderson moving up on the inside there to congratulate Max Dumsy. The top 3, the official placings in the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship. The win going out to Max Dumsy, driving car number 5, the John Sydney Racing entry, car number 5. Officially placed second was David Anderson from Victoria. Coming in third from New South Wales, the driver Brooke Tatnall in the Winfield Racing, car number 15. Fourth across the finish line was Bill Barrows from South Australia, and rounding out the top 5 in the 1991 Australian Sprint Car Championship, young Sydney driver Skip Jackson. So the top 5, a great win going out to, as we watch David Anderson unbuckling from the cockpit of the number 37 race car, as we watch now the drivers and crews. A great win there. David Anderson out of the car being congratulated. A magnificent performance. There's Brooke Tatnall. He looks pretty dejected. He drove the race of his life, but he does look indeed very, very dejected there, young Brooke Tatnall. But he's not to be disgraced or denied. A great third placing, certainly a night of high drama. Moving over now to congratulate Max Dumsy there. And now let's cross trackside for the trophy presentations.
Brooke, all the very best for your run. Good to see you in Sydney. Thanks for coming down, and let's hope Dad has a better run next time with you. David, good on you, mate. We didn't get you over too well, but we'll get you home better, and thanks for your effort. It's good to see that blue car go well. Good on you, mate.
There you go.
Okay, congratulations, David. Down around at the moment. Up on the number 2 spot there, Bill, I know you're going to take great pleasure in this. Max, congratulations. We go right back to when you brought a Formula 500 speed car and here you are back 10 or 12 years later taking out a national sprint car championship. Congratulations, and Bill, I'll pass over you to present the trophy to Max.
Thanks, Winston. Well, what more can I say, Max, but congratulations to you and John. Our pleasure to be associated with you, and my heartiest congratulations to you on behalf of the promoters and A&L. All the very best, and thanks for coming down. I hope you enjoy the stay in Tasmania.
All the very best. Thank you. Thank you, Bill, and thanks a lot to A&L for sponsoring this. As long as I've been coming over here, I think A&L's been helping us out with getting here, and without them I think it would make it very hard for us all to get over here and race this title, but it's great. Thank you, and also thanks a lot to the Tasmania Club and Winston and everyone for getting the title down here. There was a lot of mainlanders who didn't want to get us down here, but I for one really wanted to get down here because it's a great racetrack and it's a great place to come, so thanks a lot for that. And also thanks a lot to the sponsors, Belvaline, the Top Cat Paint. Without them, we would have a little bit of a hard time getting around all these places. We've got to go all over the country. And also to everybody else involved on the crew, like Ashmore panels and whatever. Thanks a lot. And thanks everybody. It's great to win the Sprintcar title. Good on you, Max. You did like your